Okay guys, today on Saltiness Isn't Bliss, I am so excited to share this recipe with you. This is a little bit out of the box and yet still just a fun, traditional, classic recipe. So today we are making Crockpot Lasagna. So I'll be honest, back in the day when I was learning how to cook, the idea of making lasagna was very intimidating. Once I figured out how to make it this way, I have loved it ever since, never looked back, and this is how I always make it, and it always turns out delicious. So I'm going to start with showing you how to prep the sauce. We are going to just put 1 pound of ground beef that is browned and drained in a bowl. We're going to add 1 cup of water to that. And then I'm going to add 24 ounces of marinara sauce. Now this can vary. You can go 24 to 26 ounces. If you like something other than marinara, you can certainly use that. This is what I will be using today. So I am going to get that all in there in my bowl. And now I'm just going to give that, that's looking like right now. I'm just going to give that a real nice stir. Just going to mix that all up so that all the meat is covered in the sauce and the water is blended in as well. So it will look a little soupy, little watery at first. Don't you worry, because that is going to just be perfect once it cooks up in our crock pot. Speaking of crock pots, I inherited this beauty from my grandma-in-law. I love it. It is the perfect shape, perfect size for this recipe. But obviously whatever you have at home will work. Just doesn't have to be this style. I just love it because it's got so much family history to it. So that's our sauce. It's that easy, 3 ingredients. So now we're gonna make our cheese mixture. So we are going to start with 15 ounces of ricotta cheese. Just going to kind of squeeze that in there. There we go. So there's our cheese. We've got a 1/4 cup of parmesan, grated parmesan, 1 raw egg, about 1.5 cups to 2 cups. You could really go anywhere between 1 cup and 2 cups of shredded mozzarella cheese. I'm just using what I had on hand that I kind of needed to get rid of and use up. And last but not least, we're going to put some fresh herbs in there. So I am using what I was able to get at my grocery store easily, which is cilantro. I know that sounds a little odd to be putting in an Italian dish. It works great. I use it every time and it never disappoints. So I'm gonna put fresh cilantro. If you have access to other herbs or you grow herbs yourself, feel free to put those in there. Parsley, basil, spinach, whatever you've got. So now I'm gonna give that a real good mix, which does take a little time with that ricotta cheese because it's so solid when you put it in there. So now our cheese mixture is all nice and blended there. So now we're going to start layering into our crock pot. So we're going to go meat, noodles, cheese, and we're going to just repeat that until we run out of ingredients. So by meat I mean the sauce. We want to do a cup of the sauce at a time, so I usually just grab a 1 cup measuring cup and I use that to scoop my sauce. It's just quicker and easier for me. So I am going to just rearrange those for a sec, give that a little mix. So I'm going to scoop 1 cup of my meat mixture, dump that in there, and then kind of spread it evenly in my crock pot. Next is noodles. Here is the best part of this whole recipe. You do not have to cook your noodles. You don't even have to buy special noodles. You just buy a box of lasagna noodles, whatever kind you like. You pull 5 out of the box and break them in half and then lay them right on top of that sauce. meat mixture that we just put in there. So that's one noodle cracked in half right on top. Now we're going to put a scoop of our cheese mixture on top. Then we're going to use the back of the spoon, or you can use a spatula, whatever's easier for you, to kind of spread that evenly as best you can. And I will give you a fun little sneak peek of what that looks like in just a sec. There we go, guys. There is our delicious sauce, noodles, cheese, first layer in our crock pot. Okay, so we have done one layer in our crock pot. Like I said, you're just going to continue layering until you run out of ingredients. So I'm going to do my next scoop of meat sauce. Spread that around in there. Meat, noodles, cheese. I have to tell myself that in my head the whole time. Uncooked one lasagna noodle. Crack it in half. Put that right on top. Just lay it in there as best you can. And a nice scoop of our cheese mixture, or maybe a couple scoops. And then just spread that around. And then you just repeat that over and over like you would a traditional lasagna. And as soon as I get that all filled to the brim in the crock pot, I'll give you a peek. Okay guys, our lasagna just tripped over the dog. Our lasagna is all layered up in our crock pot, ready to go. So now the great news is the crock pot gets to do the work, and we get to sit back and relax and just wait for the dinner to be done. So we're gonna turn our crock pot to low. We wanna cook it on low 4 to 6 hours. I did say I was gonna give you a quick little peek there once that's all layered and ready to go. So that is what it looks like on top. I choose not to put noodles on the top because they tend to just kind of get soggy and dried out. So I love to just have a nice layer of sauce on top. And that fun little coupon behind my crock pot there, my husband is learning to weld. So he welded me up that adorable little heart, in case you're wondering what that is. And the 4 hours just went like that. So our crock pot lasagna is all done. I am going to get a nice big scoop out of here. Maybe 2 scoops. Check that out. So you've got all those layers, colors, flavors. The noodles come out perfect. All you need is a fork to eat those. They just melt in your mouth. So that's it, guys. This is dinner tonight, and I hope it inspired you. I hope you found a fun, less stressful way to make lasagna like I have. And as always, thanks for watching.